friend growing up came into town. He's like, yo, meet me in Seattle. Come to the Garlic Festival, and I'm going to start blowing glass. It might be something you're into. So I was so tired of like what I was doing at the time. I quit my job, sold, I was in my first apartment and stuff. I was like, all right, that sounds rad.
What up, y'all? I'm Steve, and welcome to another exciting Elev8, where we sit down with some cool ass artists in this industry. First, we have this really cool ambassador program. You can join as an Elev8 doll or an Elev8 gent, and it's really awesome. You get to help us build Elev8. It's super unique, super special, and you're really a part of something special. Check out Elev8ambassador.com to learn more. Another cool thing we have is our Elev8 Veterans program. I'm really honored to be a part of it. Teresa helps run it, and it's super awesome. We get to rehabilitate and reacclimate veterans into society our way. And you know what? I think we're doing it right. Go check it out at Elev8veterans.com. Third, there's Elev8 Bingo. It's super cool, super fun, and we get to show you more of what we do. And on top of that, every game there's a chance to win $50 credits for Elev8glassgallery.com. Go check it out. And now, let's roll into this super awesome Elev8. Welcome to Elev8. We got Ryan Bearclaw here today. Thank you so much for joining us, man.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Dude, it's a absolute pleasure. I got some of your glass here. I've been having it in our shops for a long time. I absolutely love it. And I know you've been doing this for a minute. You have a great name around here. And thanks a lot for joining us, man.
Yep, thank you.
So my first question is, as usual, man, how did you get into this crazy thing of glass? Because it's nuts, but it's amazing.
Yeah. It's a long story. I mean, I'll make it quick because it's a long story.
You don't got to make it too quick. I'd love the story. That's like, to me, the whole adventure.
Right. I was going to community college, getting my prerequisites out of the way to go to art school. I was going to go to the Dallas Art Institute, and I was burnt out, like flipping hamburgers. It was a nice restaurant. It wasn't like fast food or anything. It was like a kick-ass burger joint in Arlington, Texas. And my buddy that I grew up with since third grade, like my best friend growing up, came into town. He's like, yo, meet me in Seattle. Come to the Garlic Festival, and I'm going to start blowing glass. It might be something you're into. So I was so tired of like what I was doing at the time. I quit my job, sold, I was in my first apartment and stuff. I was like, all right, that sounds rad. I'm doing it.
How old were you at this time?
19.
Okay.
So I did that. I sold all my stuff, and I flew out to Seattle. We got together, and we just traveled all summer and ended up at a rainbow gathering. And then that's the first time I ever saw glass blowing done. We walked in someone's school bus, and the dude was making us like spinning a spoon, and I already knew he was about to do it, and he was trying to get me into it. So I was like, all right, that looks easy. Yeah. But it turns out it kind of was. I don't know, maybe I was lucky, but a lot, I struggled, and I still do. But
it's one of those things where it is easy, but it's not that easy, right? It's like life.
Right. So towards the end of like summer traveling and stuff, we were rolling around in this V-Dub bus. We went through Golden, Colorado, stopped at Glasscraft.
Yeah.
I had a little bit of money. I bought my first torch, some supplies, and I bought the first color sample pack, which back then it was 15 colors, North Star.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've heard this from like a lot of the old school glass blowers.
I remember getting that little North Star pack and everything.
Little, tiny
little
thing.
6 inches or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
And half of them you couldn't use.
Right. So then I don't know, we made our way back to, there's a longer story to it, but we made it back to outside of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We went to his dad's place, and I bought a full-size school bus. We gutted it, turned it into a, you know, a motor home. The back half of it was our glass shop. We had a bench on each side. Neither of us knew anything, you know, we had no idea what we were doing.
Nobody did
But
back then though. So
exactly. And you're a young kid, you know, the sky's the limit.
yeah.
So he had an apprenticeship lined up in Madison, Wisconsin. And once they found out that I was along for the ride, they cut him off. Like they would not teach him and me.
Oh,
That goes back to like the glass curtain, which
right.
still existed back in, you know, 98. It was the fall of 98.
Right.
And like people were still like closed lipped. You know, there was not internet. You couldn't just like Google something or pull something up on.
It's crazy what's changed, right?
Oh yeah, it's nuts. But so anyway, in Milwaukee, we were blowing glass in his dad's milk shed, and we were building our bus, and then we headed to Madison, and
forced to teach yourselves at this point because you were on for the ride.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah. So, I mean, that's where it all started, basically, and then
and what year was that? You were 19 and
98.
98. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you for paving the way, because it's been a nutty journey. I mean, it's a minute you've been doing this, and it's awesome. We just wouldn't have this neat industry, you know, without cats like you. So thanks, man.
Oh yeah. Welcome.
Hell yeah. So how did you get your glass name?
It rhymes with my last name. My last name is Bearclaw.
All right.
And my first time someone called me Bearclaw was my 3rd grade gym teacher. That's not a joke.
Right.
She was like a harsh, stern woman, and she'd be like, Bearclaw, give me 10 push-ups. Because I was kind of a cut up. Like I'd always goof around in gym class. So she monikered me that, but
and then so it just worked. It's a great name.
I spent like 2 weeks or so, because like after I started making nicer pieces that I felt like I should be signing, I really stressed out about it. I was like, what do I call myself as a glass blower? Because you had like Ease, Gasp, you know, all these cool glass names and stuff. I was like, I got to call myself something. But then it came to me like 2 weeks after I started thinking about it. I was like,
3rd grade. Right. It's a great name.
It is my last name, so it's legit.
Yeah. And you know, I don't know how it is, but you just imagine sometimes how people got their names, but you got a lot of horns on your work and it's really flowy. And I imagine that's much like a bear claw, so I thought maybe you like claws, but so it's great to know that's not where you get the nickname.
No, the horns and the claws and the fill-ins and stuff come from another place besides my name.
Right. Well, where does that come from? Because it's beautiful. It's also different. You can tell each one is very unique, and
it just flow like the first. I feel like I'm getting ahead of myself here, but the first actual headpieces I saw and was able to hold in my hand were like Shad, Chaz, Mike Fro. They're all very flowy, you know. Ease, just the flows of horns. That's what really turned me on about like headpieces. I was like, all right, I can do that or try that.
Right.
And it's just kind of, I don't know. I just like really organic flowing glass, I guess.
Yeah, and all your glass is real organic. It flows beautifully. It's well balanced. Like this piece, you know, you got a marble here, but you've balanced it out. It's just really neat how all your stuff is really balanced and flows, and just it's what you said. It's organic and it's awesome. And then when you started this, did you have any mentors going through this? I know it sounds like you mentioned some heady people that that were there. Did you have anybody take you under their wing, or just you and your buddy at the time?
Well, my buddy passed away that fall.
Oh my God, I'm sorry, man.
But I ended up dragging my brother into it. So it was me and him. But as far as mentors go, I started seeing things on the internet when the internet was new. And
Glasspipes.org.
no, pre-glasspipes.org. I would look up like glass art, glass pipes, and a few things would come up here and there. Like for instance, like one of the first pieces that I saw was a Jason Lee piece. And like, you know, old school. But I looked at it and I was still making hitters and spoons and stuff, like just, you know, teaching myself how to wrap and rake and all this crap. And I saw a Jason Lee piece and I went into a depression, like a 2-week depression. I told myself, I'll never ever be able to make that kind of work.
Oh man.
But so then it goes on to like, then I started, you know, things I would see in head shops, even like hitters and spoons. Like I would look at a piece in a head shop, I'd go home and like try to nail it.
Mm-hmm.
I remember me and my brother, the first time we saw a honeycomb, we went and we spent like a week trying to figure out how the fuck a honeycomb was made. Excuse my language.
No, but what that's, I think the beauty of glass is that crazy challenge. And now you can Google and somebody show you how. But
it's definitely a different world.
Yeah.
So yeah, me and my brother sat down for like a week. He nailed it first. I'll give him credit for that. Like it's fun. It's you know, one of the things I'm thankful for. And like back in the day, I used to like be bothered by the fact that I wasn't around a strong glass community like here out west.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everyone had like bounce ideas off people. It's like it was kind of like me and my brother just figuring shit out. Like, oh, how do you do that? Let's go home and figure it out, figure that shit out. And then we're going on with the mentor thing. One of my now best friends opened a shop. Because back then, like we were making hitters and spoons and like just bounced around shops trying to sell pieces. Mm-hmm. And this guy opened a store called Manchu's Choice in back Chicago. And he started bringing in Ease, Fro, Chaz, Shad, banjo pieces, and D-Rec. Mm-hmm. There was a D-Rec piece I begged him to let me bring home so I could study it and just to look at it and like hold it. Yeah. He let me bring the Ease piece home one day. I kept it for a couple days because I was like, I'm keeping this.
You have to try to figure it out and then go practice it and be like yay or nay.
Yeah. So those are definitely some of my first mentors. People I looked up to, and I never thought I'd be able to make anything like them. Like that's all at all.
and now you can hang with the best of them. You're doing stuff that I look at. I'm like, how in the freak did you do something like that? So yeah.
And now I'm friends with most of them, so that's a cool thing too.
Where did you meet these people at? Were they events? Do you do events?
Well, one of the first, I kind of felt isolated as a glass blower in the Midwest. One of the first people that reached out to me was Slinger.
Okay.
And he invited me to, it's kind of funny. It's like the movie. There was a art show up in BC, Canada, British Columbia, called Degenerate Art.
Yeah.
And he invited me up. And so I met some cats up there, like, the first time I met Slinger in person, we did a bunch of like AOL like messaging back and forth because it was still AOL days. And I don't know, met Max Poland, Brian Ratcliffe. So yeah, that was my first time like being like, introduced to the scene really.
Right. And I'm sure they welcomed you open arms. I mean, you struggled far. They knew the struggle, that nobody helped you along the way. And And here
Yeah.
you are.
Yeah, well, they all helped me in the way that I appreciated their work, and like, you know, different glass blowers. Like I see it, you know, they helped me that way.
Right. To inspire you.
See it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So,
Oh, go ahead.
well, I mean, as far as events go, like, um, the one of the first time, like, I my first show was, I forget what it was, a champ show, and I
Mhm.
got to meet a lot of people there. And this is after, you know, I guess my name got, you know, started being established and whatnot.
Were you
So
there
I got,
as a vendor, or were you there in one of their competitions?
well, I had a distributor that was vending there, so I
Oh,
went
okay.
out to just to be there.
Yeah.
I met Banjo, Shad, and Chaz. They were like a team back then. Um, I met them the first time. I met a lot of people that show, and
Uh,
it was kind of like, all right, I feel part of something now. You know, it felt good.
right. Man, so do you still do like those types of trade shows? Do you go to the other events? Have you ever competed in any like competitions?
I haven't been to a trade show in a good while, maybe like 7 years or something like that, which
Oh
is something
wow.
I plan on doing it soon. It's just a matter of like building up work enough to present. But as far as competitions, I did pipe classic number 2, and I was almost done with my piece, and I bumped it up against the hood and it
Oh
broke.
man. Yeah.
And then I did pipe classic number 3 and I got second place.
Nice.
Paco won that year, and I was so proud of him. It was fucking awesome.
Hell yeah. Do you
Yeah,
enjoy those types of competitions, the pressure, or maybe the what it gives for inspiration or something?
the person's fun, but it's more camaraderie. You know, just like hanging out with like peers and friends and shit.
Mhm.
That's probably the best part of it. But yeah, it's definitely still a competition. You
Right,
know, who doesn't want to win? But it's all, you know, it's all fun. It's all love.
right.
Cliche thing to say. It's all love.
Have you taken any classes in throughout your career, or do you give
No, I've
classes?
never taken a class. I was signed up for a Mickelson class for Grawl technique, the sandblasting and fire polishing and all that.
Mhm.
But I had to back out of it because I think he was 2.5 years. Son was having dental surgery, and he was going to go under the gas.
Ooh,
So I had to cancel it. But Mickelson was pissed at me. He was like, "Rah, rah, 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 rah." I was like, well, give it to someone else. So I gave it to Brian Ratcliffe.
right on. But he
So
was probably
no one knows now.
when you get to teach those things, it's again, it's not just that you're doing something like that, but he was probably excited to meet you, you know, and have that whole network of great glass blowers there.
Yeah, it would have been a cool class. But again, like, instead of taking the class, I just got a sandblaster and taught myself.
Have you given any classes?
I've done one official class. I've done demonstrations, but one official class at Revere Glass Studio
Yeah.
some years ago. I went out as a badass. It was fun. I didn't know. I went out there with no idea what I was doing because I've never been an instructor, you know. And one of my star students, I don't know if you're familiar with Akio, Japanese glass artist.
I'm gonna look into them.
Oh, you better. I'll tell you what. Um, he flew all the way from Japan to take my class.
Really?
Yeah,
That had to have felt great, man.
yeah. And but the point is like I didn't know what to teach, but he came from Japan. He printed out a bunch of stuff from my glasspipes.org page and wrote things down, and he brought a translator with him. And like he photographs like show me this, show me this. So basically Akio gave me my
Your plan.
uh, lesson plan. Yeah. It was awesome. So I went through every page of that thing, and that was my goal. It's like, all
Nice,
right.
man.
Yeah.
Nice.
And now he kills it. He's an amazing artist and blowing beautiful glass.
Well, we're gonna look him up and try to get him on. Hopefully he speaks a little English because I'm.
Oh, yeah, he's way better now.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you feel that teaching that class or doing something like that also helped increase your glass skills or your knowledge of it?
No, just maybe my more like confidence and
Just your
like what I
confidence
know.
that you got it.
Yeah, what I know how to do, like more confidence in that.
Hell yeah. What are your favorite items to blow? Are they bubblers, pipes, or just pendants maybe?
Honestly, my one of my favorite things to make are marbles. I love it. They're fun. I mean, possibilities are endless, just like pipes and all, but I love making a marble.
What's your
And then,
favorite I guess what's your favorite technique in a marble?
oh, well, I mean, I've only, in my career, I've only made probably 40 marbles
Oh
the
wow.
entire career, but
Well, these are
I
little
like the
marbles
spacing.
too.
What's that?
I mean, these got marbles on them too. They're just, I guess, not as
Oh, yeah.
elaborate.
If you want to count marbles on pieces, I've made probably a million.
But you
But
just a nice marble for nothing but a marble.
it's a nice, simple marble, non-functional, just
So
that's I like it's gonna sound like I don't like making pipes, but I like making wine glasses. I like making vessels. I like things that are non-functional. I don't know.
well,
Just because I've been making pipes.
a vessel
What's
is
that?
a vessel is pretty functional. I mean, you use it to drink out of, and
Yeah, drinking vessel. Yeah, that's functional.
yeah, I guess a marble's not other than pure enjoyment. I mean,
It's something
whoever
to look
owns
at,
it loves it.
or you can roll it. You can flick it and play games with it if you want to.
Yeah. Have you ever got to play in any of the champs games with the marble games or anything?
No, the champs. No, I dipped out of like. I kind of became a recluse for a while. I stopped going to shows, and I don't know.
That's all right. Sounds like we're gonna see you at some shows here in the future, and
Yeah,
yeah, hell yeah. What's your favorite color to work with?
that changes, but if you want to go, like it changes all the time because, uh, but my long-standing favorite, amber purple. I really love that color. Um, I like fume colors, silver colors, blue moon, all
Yeah,
the
that's a beautiful color.
all the exotics. I really like. Um,
What
my
color
new favorite is ghost.
Oh yeah, ghost is a beautiful color. I love it. Over colors, it
Yeah,
enhances
I'm
them.
into it
And
right now. Yeah.
what color do you not like? And no, I gotta say, looking at a lot of your stuff, it seems like you really love clear though, because you do a lot of fume work. And
Yeah, I like fume work for sure. Yeah, I
yeah,
do a lot of fume work. But as far as color, the color I don't like, I've answered this question before, but it goes back because they've reformulated it. It's jade. Because I remember it was one of the first 15 colors, and all it would do is crack.
yeah,
And you put it inside, you can even put it outside. It just was not compatible. So that's my all-time least favorite color is jade. But it's better now.
it is. But
I've heard.
there,
I won't touch it.
I'm with you. It's like y'all can play with that. There's so many other colors that
Yeah.
are safe.
Jupiter Nielsen kills jade. Like he rocks that color so bad or so good.
And that's just it. Each color, it does have a way to work it if you know how to figure it out, I guess. And
Yeah,
uh
absolutely. Yeah.
man, that's crazy. What's the most difficult piece that you've ever created in your career so far?
The first bubbler I ever tried.
I love it. I assume your first bubbler, you didn't have nobody telling you how to get that downstem in there and shit.
Right. So yeah, definitely that I will put that down on the most difficult piece I ever tried.
I love it because I remember learning that, and somebody on the internet helped me out because I couldn't get that. How did you get over it?
I just kept trying until it came out right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy, you know. And I see today, you know, people can make rigs and all this shit, but a bubbler, good fucking luck, man. Get that stem in there.
Yeah.
I love that, man. Do you get to collaborate often with people, and do you like it?
It depends. I don't really collaborate very often. Not by choice. I mean, I'll collab with anyone anytime. But yeah, I mean, I here and there, maybe a couple a year, something like that. I don't know.
Is that mostly still because you're in a town where there's not a whole lot of glass blowers?
I'm in Eugene.
Oh, so yeah, you're just a
There's
hermit.
blowers, yeah.
You're just a
No,
hermit.
I just I moved out here 2 years ago, right before COVID hit, and it kind of like set a weird tone. You know, like we all kind of we what's that word? Segregated, like uh it's
Maybe
escaping me.
reclused out or
No, there's a word for it.
I don't know it.
Quarantined. Quarantined. So yeah, it got kind of weird there for a minute, and then I don't know. Yeah.
Hopefully we're back to normal and everything will change and we'll get
Yeah,
back
sure.
to normal life.
Right. Totally.
Do you consume cannabis yourself or no?
Occasionally, yeah.
Do you prefer flower, dabs, edibles, or
Absolutely flowers.
flowers?
And
Nice.
edibles, like I'll eat a gummy every once in a while before bed, just sleep sounder.
But you're a
But
flower man.
I don't get into the dabs.
Yeah, I love flower too. The look of it, it's, you know, you could tell if a grower did a good job. I don't know about dabs, like
Right.
smoke and mirrors going on, it seems like.
It's too strong for me. I'm a lightweight. I'm like a 1-2 hit wonder nowadays. I don't smoke like I used to.
Right. And I think that comes with time, you know, sometimes I don't know. And that's just it. We get to do our own thing in life. So when you
Yeah.
do consume, do you use your own pieces or do you have other people's pieces that you use, or do you have a collection of glass as well?
No, I used to have a collection, but I had a case collapse, and I had some really nice pieces. One of my house cases collapsed, and I don't have those anymore. But I do have a couple of my own pieces that I smoke. I like my chillum, and I got a bubbler. And the only time I save my own pieces is if they crack.
Yeah, that was going to be my question. The one you're using, is it a gift from the gods? That's what I always call
I
it.
guess so. Like every time I smoke it, I'm like, why'd you have to crack?
Well, you
But yeah.
wouldn't have one then if it didn't crack, right? So
Yeah.
what can we look forward to in the future from you?
I never really know, but I want to get on some more marbles. I just let go of a few pieces I made at the beginning of or end of 2020 and finished 2021, and I haven't wanted to sell them, but it's like I've
Oh,
gotten enough
you
left.
started them and then finished them later on, just kind of let them marinate.
Yeah, because it blasted, so it was like I made the marble and then I had to sandblast it, which because I don't have my sandblaster right now. But so probably some marbles, more honeybees. I'm gonna keep doing that, and I really want to get back into sculpting.
What is
I've
your
done
favorite technique? I didn't get to ask you. What is your favorite technique that you like? Is it I don't know. There's so many techniques.
And I've done so much. It's like as far as like that's why I'm saying sculpting. I like to sculpt.
You do,
I
yeah.
like to make things. You know, you can make a pipe, and it's a pipe, and it can come to life in a certain way. But when you give, you know, there's a different way to give it life, like human face, hands, you know, the body gestures and stuff. I really want to get back to that a little bit.
So you mean more of like a human or an animal type sculpting rather than, because to me this is some sculpture work. But so
Yeah,
you mean
yeah,
more of like lifestyle sculptures.
yeah, either way, I mean, it's still sculpture, but
Right.
yeah, just like I like inflecting like emotion. I mean, you can in like one of those pieces, you can put emotion to it, but not really. Like you got to give some kind of like, yeah, like you said, an animal gesture or human gesture, just to get like a feeling out of it. You know, you get a feeling out of it, like a bubbler and whatnot, but it's a different feeling than when you capture a form that you can identify with.
Right. And there's just in the human face, you know, you can get a ton of emotion with an eyeball and just one eyelid or just a mouth, or because our face has got so much freaking emotion in them. It's just nuts.
Right.
So
Yeah. And I like that. So yeah, I mean, sculpture, I really want to start sandblasting again, because that was a big part of my body of work for a while.
do you like sandblasting it and then fire polishing it as well? Or do you like just
I like leaving it rough,
leaving it rough?
like deep carves, like sand carve it and just kind of leave it rough. The fire polishing is cool too. I've done that before, you know, it just depends.
That always scares me. Like, is it gonna crack?
Oh yeah, it's sketchy, especially like when the piece gets larger.
I've never done it because I'm that scared. Do you still find you have the same love and passion for glass today as when you first started?
It ebbs and flows. It's I mean, after 24 years, you know, it's there's been a lot of ebb and flow.
Mm-hmm.
I've gone through periods where I hated it, and then periods where I fell back in love with it. Definitely not I don't think I'll ever have the passion I did for the first 8 years. You know, maybe I will. You know, it's like that's the thing with like, you never know when it's gonna come. Like when that passion will come back. Like something will fire you up to, you know, just really rage it again. I'm not saying I'm not like busting my ass and jamming right now or anything like that, but it's like,
No, you're just saying that there was a different fire there.
Yeah,
The
the initial passion is like, that's what's up. That, you know, that's
it's
that's
that
what keeps
honeymoon
going.
stuff, though. You know, like when you first meet that girl, like eventually.
Yeah, it's like a long-term relationship. You know, things just become kind of like, and then maybe like you go on vacation and you have this like fire ass time, like with your girl or with your glass, and it's like, yeah, right on.
Right. The love's there, everything's there. It's just,
Yeah, the love's always there. Absolutely, I love glass. I'll never do anything else.
well, it absolutely shows. I mean, I don't think if you had the love, you still wouldn't be doing it. I would hope not. So,
Right.
that's awesome that you were able to find this, you know, at 19, and continue this on. And like life, there's ups and downs, but man, it's how lucky to be able to
I'm so grateful for it. I really am, honestly.
It is. It's a thing, huh?
Yeah.
And where's the best place for us to follow you and see all your work? Is it on Instagram, Facebook? Do you have a website?
I don't have a website. I'm thinking about starting one, but Instagram is basically the place.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll make sure to follow you there and do all that stuff. And dude.
Yeah.
This was awesome.
So yeah. Any more questions?
No, I'm just thoroughly amazed at how great of a time I had here, and I want to say thanks a lot, man, for joining us, and I fucking love your work.
I appreciate it, and thank you for having me.
Hell yeah! Peace out, brother.
Yep.